we have a true iconic actress. It's the wonderful, the beautiful, talented Rebecca Holden from Knight Rider. Rebecca. Also to interview Rebecca, we got the superb Paul from the Knight Rider archive, an absolute star. So take it away, Paul.
Hi everybody.
Hello everybody, can you hear me? I said, can you hear me? All right, that's what we like, this great enthusiasm. Y'all come and sit and fill in these front row seats over here. We want you as close to us as we can get. Come on, fill in the seats. We got lots of questions and we got lots of answers for them. Is it still raining outside? No?
Yeah.
It is? Well, this is the best place to be, inside where it's dry, and let's talk about these television shows that we all love. Hi. How are you? All right. We still have a few seats up here up front. Come on and fill in. Come on. Come on. Yes, they're yours. That seat right there, it has your name on it. There you go. Y'all come on from the back so you can hear better. Fill in all the chairs. I see a couple of chairs right here. We got to fill these in. Come on up, move up. We're having our little intimate discussion here. All right. Y'all ready to go? Okay, now Paul's got a lot of questions for me, but be thinking of your own questions too, because we don't want to leave a single question unanswered today. All right. All right, Paul Nuthall. Do you know his website? He's the most amazing expert on Knight Rider on this planet. Tell everybody your website.
Yeah, I run the KnightRiderArchives.com.
KnightRiderArchives.com, okay? So when you leave here today, go visit his website and you'll learn everything you ever wanted to know about Knight Rider. Paul Nuthall.
Yeah, it's a guide to the TV series. You can find all of the interviews, episodes, everything like that. So, anyway, first things first then, should we ask, how did you get involved with the series? How did you become involved with Knight Rider?
Paul is asking how I became involved with Knight Rider, and actually I had done a lot of shows over at Universal Studios, some other shows that you may remember called Magnum PI. Do you remember that show? Yes, with Tom Selleck, the very handsome and sweet Tom Selleck. I'd done a lot of shows on the Universal set, and for NBC as well. So is this my way? Yeah, I think that's blocking. Okay, so the role came about on Knight Rider. They asked me to come in and just meet with David, and the chemistry was just apparent right off the bat. They asked if I would put on a pair of glasses and how I looked in glasses, and I said, well, I actually wore glasses when I was in 2nd grade. I had contact lenses then, but I felt very at home in a pair of glasses. And we all laughed and talked, and the producers and David and I, we had a wonderful time. And by the time I had gotten home, my agent called me and said, they've offered you the role, and would you like to do it? And I said, absolutely yes. So that's how it came about.
And did you have to do any screen tests with a car or with a prop?
There were no screen tests. Actually, they knew my work because of all the other shows that I'd done there. And Lou Wasserman, who was the CEO and chairman of the board for Universal MCA, asked me to be the mayor of Universal City. Universal is an incorporated city all unto itself. So in the past years, when in the days of the contract players, the movie contract players at Universal, they had people serve as mayor, such as Rock Hudson and Doris Day and Lana Turner. And so Lou said, we're going to bring this tradition back because we have a lot of wonderful events going on at Universal this year. So he had invited me to be the mayor of Universal City, and I would introduce him and speak at various events during that time. And so I took the role on Knight Rider, and really that was all that it required, was the meeting actually with the producers of that particular show, and we all hit it off and had a wonderful time and knew that the chemistry was there. So that's how it happened.
And what are your memories of David Hasselhoff and working with David and Edward Mulhare as well?
David is an absolute pro, and I think you would all agree with me that there's nobody that could have played the role of the Knight Rider like David. He has that bigger-than-life personality, and he was the quintessential Knight Rider. He was a lot of fun. We had a great time. David is an ultimate pro. He was really a professional about doing his job and being on set, but we always made it fun. And that's the beauty of it, is that it's not really work when you're having a great time. It was really a joy, and I looked forward to every single day. Edward Mulhare was the most lovely gentleman. He was a gentle man. And we were both of English Scotch heritage, and so we had that sort of in common, the fair skin, and because David was always so tan, they would have to put on darker makeup on us so that there wasn't such a contrast in skin tone on the set, and Edward and I always laughed about that, this dark makeup we had to put on in the makeup trailer. But I love him, and I miss him dearly. As you all know, Edward passed away a few years ago, and he was just such a dear man and a wonderful actor. You all know his credits. He had been in so many wonderful stage plays, and of course he had played on The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. So many people remember him from that show. But yes, a wonderful actor, and we all miss him.
Do you recall your first day on the set of Knight Rider? Do you remember like walking on the set for the very first time and like what your scenes were on the first day of shooting?
I absolutely do remember my first day on the set. The very, very first scene that we shot was the one, what was the episode?
It was Return to Cadiz.
Return to Cadiz. See, he is the pro. He knows every episode by heart. It was my first day on the set, and I had to wear a pair of very short shorts. So I was a little bit, apprehensive about the first day. Is this all going to work, and so on? But the moment I walked onto the set, the crew, everybody was so welcoming and so warm, and it just felt right. So I knew it was going to be a wonderful, wonderful collaboration, and it turned out to be so.
That episode also had April go undercover. You were a nurse in that episode.
Yes,
too.
and I tell you, it was a pleasure playing a nurse, because my mother was a nurse. She was a registered nurse, and my sister was also an NICU nurse. She worked with the preemies, the little preemie babies and sick babies, and it's a wonderful, honorable profession, and so it was a special thing for me to get to actually play a nurse. Yeah.
They actually gave April a lot to do in Knight Rider. You got to interact with David when he was also playing his evil twin.
Yes.
And do you remember that at all, or any memories from that episode?
Yes, that was quite a dramatic episode. We had a lot of fun and light-hearted moments on the set, but there was some drama. And of course, the episode that you mentioned was one of those. So, yeah, there was a diversity of emotional aspects to the scenes, and that's what made it fun.
Why don't you tell everybody about your singing and your new song and everything like that?
I'm very, very delighted to tell you about my musical career. Actually, when I first went to New York, music was my intention. I never had a goal or a desire to be an actress. The acting sort of happened. I found that I had an affinity toward it, and work begat more work. But when I first went to New York, it was to study voice, to continue my music studies from college, and music has always been, I must admit, my first love. So I was on Curb Records and BMG Records here in Europe, and now I'm on Silver Blue Summit Records. We have a song called Dreams Come True that now has cumulatively over 10 million views on YouTube. It's the #1 most popular and most requested wedding song in the world. And people are discovering the song, embracing it for their wedding songs, and putting up their own personal YouTubes on YouTube with their own wedding footage of their special day. So it's very very special to me and very fulfilling to be a part of some of the highlight and most memorable moments in people's lives. And we just finished the rest of the album. I was down in Miami recording the rest of the album, and we just put out another song called Exodus, which is a remake of the original, which was recorded in 1960 for the film and won an Oscar. And then it was had lyrics put to it by Pat Boone and won 2 Grammys the next year. So this is a wonderful rendition of this new song. It's a duet version with Tony LeBron. Very proud of this recording, and I hope that in these troubled times it can help to support Israel.
Going back to Knight Rider, did you get to see or even take part?
It seems like we're competing with someone else singing at the moment. What's going on here?
I was going to ask,
okay.
Did you get to take part in any stunts or actually watch the stuntmen at work with Knight Rider? Because it was a very action-packed TV series.
Yes, it was. Action was a big part of the series, and I think a great draw for the audience. Yes, on some of my days off, I would go just to watch the second unit and watch them do stunts, because it was, as you know, Jack Gill was our stunt coordinator, and Terry James doubled David in which season? The first season?
The first season.
Yeah. So they did some amazing things, and it was fun to watch.
Where did you...
Thank you.
What about your movie career when you moved on from Knight Rider?
Well, I did a lot of films actually overseas, which was nice, in the Philippines and Japan, and had a lot of fun doing those. And it was really, those offers came about because Knight Rider was so popular in syndication. So I'm very grateful to Knight Rider in lots of ways, because it really opened a lot of doors for me, and to tour all over the world with my music. So I feel very blessed.
And did you ever get to meet William Daniels? Because he was never actually on the set. A lot of people don't actually realise that he did all of his lines after, and it was added later on after the fact.
That's exactly right, Paul. He always said he had the easiest job in show business. He didn't have to go through wardrobe or makeup or any of those things. He just came in once a week and did all of it, laid all his lines down and in post. And we didn't ever see him on the set. Actually, we were reacting to a script girl's monotone reading and imagining how Bill would actually do the lines later on. So yes, we met at various functions. In fact, we were co-presenters on an award show, I think, at one time. And we did various charity work things together, but never on set.
And how did working on Knight Rider compare to, say, some of the other sets that you worked on, for example, Magnum or other Universal shows? You did a Quincy as well.
Yes, I did, which was another Glenn Larson show, as a matter of fact. Glenn Larson, as you know, was the creator of Knight Rider, and he did many, many shows like Fall Guy, Battlestar Galactica. You could probably name more than
Automan.
Yes.
The Highwayman was another one.
Yes.
McLeod, alias Smith and Jones.
Yes, yes, yes. But Quincy,
goes on and on.
I love doing Quincy with Jack Klugman. But all those shows I was a guest star, and sometimes your roles as a guest star are a little more varied and more interesting. But it was a wonderful feeling to be a part of Knight Rider as a regular, because you're there every week and you really bond with the crew. We became like a family.
One of your other credits that seems to be really popular with fans was Police Squad with Leslie Nielsen, which was spun off into the Naked Gun films.
Yes.
Do you have any memories of that?
Leslie Nielsen was so funny and such a dear man, and that was a funny series. It actually has developed a real cult following and came out on DVD. And it was fun. He was a wild man with a whoopee cushion, and they really pulled a major prank on me the very first day on set. So yeah, he was quite a character.
And who was perhaps one of your most favourite co-stars that you ever got to work with?
Oh, so many. I have to say Tony Danza was a real talent. I did a Taxi with him. And he was so multi-talented, meaning people don't know he also tap dances, and he's a great singer of the same kind of music that I love. A lot of the big band stuff, the American Songbook, we call it, those great standards. So he was a wonderful, wonderful talent. Jack Klugman as well. Did Three's Company. And John Ritter was amazing. He was also great at the physical comedy, you know, the pratfalls and so on. He died much too soon. Much too soon.
Some of the Knight Rider guest stars that you got to work with went on to bigger things as well. So you worked with Gina Davis. She was in one of the episodes.
Yes, a lovely, lovely woman, and I think you always know when someone has got a great career ahead, and she certainly fulfilled that prophecy. Beautiful.
What about, there have been reports of like many children visiting the set, and like David Hasselhoff did a lot of charity work. Do you have memories of things like that, you know, with people coming to visit the set and going to ride in the car?
That was a very nice thing, you know. David was real involved, and so was I with Make-A-Wish. And I think we always keep our priorities in order. This is a great source of entertainment, but when there are kids who you don't know exactly how long they're going to be on this earth, you certainly want to make time for them. And Knight Rider was sort of a dream come true for a lot of the kids to meet the Knight Rider and so on. So when kids visited, everything stopped.
Well, I think that's drawing to a close now. Thank you very much for your time.
A pleasure to be here, always. I am amazed at how this event just continues to grow and grow and grow. We started out in Halifax, yes? A small Knight Rider intimate convention, and then it just continued to grow, and then they brought in other shows to add to the attractions, and last year we were in Leeds. I think the year before we were in Leeds at Escape, and now here we are. So this is amazing, and it's just a great opportunity to say hi to you and to visit and see all your smiles, and it's a wonderful thing that all these years later, hi Neil, that here we are, all getting together, congregating to celebrate. And thanks for coming out today. If any of you have questions for me as well, I'm here to answer them. But thank you, and I hope to get to, I'm right back here at this table, so I hope you'll come by and say hello. I'm happy to sign autographs and shake your hand and visit. I love hearing your stories, how you bonded with your family members while watching these shows, or how it touched you and meant something to you. It means a lot to me.
Thanks, everybody. Does anyone out there have any questions for Rebecca?
Feel free. Otherwise, come back to the table, and I look forward to meeting you. All right. Have fun the rest of the day. You have a question? Can we pass him a microphone? Maybe Paul, you can, yeah.
What do you think about the new version of Knight Rider? Is it still the same as like atmosphere you feel when you watch using the old ones, or is it still the same?
Repeat your question with the microphone a little bit closer to you.
Never made a new version of Knight Rider. Do you think it's kind of similar to the old one, or do you think they made a mess out of it?
Well, I hear what you're saying from a lot of people. People seem to be disappointed. I'm happy that anything that keeps the brand alive and keeps the show alive. I hear a lot of people telling me that it's not like the original, but I don't think an original is any copy is ever the same as the original. But I've had the wonderful opportunity to meet Justin. Justin, he's a lovely, lovely guy, and I wish them well. I hope it is successful. What do you think of it?
I think I prefer the original versions of the series. I think it's just better. Because they can't really beat the original.
Well, an original is always just that. It's an original, isn't it? So, but thank you for your thoughts on that. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for your support and your loyalty to the old one. Thank you. Okay? All right, I'll see see you at the autograph table. Thank you all so much. Have fun today.